Que pasa, mi amigos? Nima here, and I want to talk about a game that I picked up recently called Headland. If you've never heard of Headland, don't feel bad. I didn't either. A fellow YouTuber and friend of mine, Troddy, actually sent me a message one morning, and he was like, "You've got to check out this game." I saw the trailer for it. It looked kind of like an acid trip, but looked really fun at the same time, and needless to say, is one of those games that I picked up and I played, and like about 4 hours just flew by. Like, seriously, Troddy kind of ruined a night of my sleep. But he's good at suggesting games, and that's why you should check him out. Anyway, at the core of this game, it is essentially an action RPG style game, with the combat being based on combos. The style you see from Hades or Legend of Zelda or any of those kind of games where you want to get in a select amount of hits, dash away before you get hit, then go back and hit again. At that same time, you're also collecting resources, stone, wood, gold coins, and keys. And these things can be used for different things. Now, the stone and the wood are used for upgrading your weapons. The keys are actually used for unlocking doors. That kind of leads you to a gauntlet-style trial where you have to face about maybe 4 or 5 waves of enemies. Upon completion, you're rewarded with a recipe for a new weapon. And then you go over to the blacksmith and you can create about, I believe it's like 4 to 6 weapons. I'm not sure. I know there was one specific I didn't get, and I still want to go back and do that. But you then need the wood, the stone, and the gold coins to upgrade your weapons and to make the weapons themselves. Now, at its heart, Headland is a game about preserving, maintaining, and appreciating creativity and imagination. Now, while that wonderment is never actually attacked in the game, the symbology of your robot companion being attacked and losing the ability to create things using his imagination is basically the catalyst for the entire game. The game starts with you playing as a character named Nor, probably a 9 or 10-year-old, and your robot beckons you over to come join him on an adventure, and you begin to go through a portal, and you're transported into a new world, where you'll find some simplistic puzzles, and you figure out how to solve them quite easily, and your robot then imagines different objects to help you progress in the game. But very quickly on, something happens, and his imagination cube, if you will, shatters, and the shards of that cube go everywhere and are stolen by bad guys. And it's your job to go from world to world to retrieve these gems, kind of a la Final Fantasy, if you will, but still in that ARPG style. And the game quickly sucks you in. The combat, of course, being the main attraction, but the story's still engaging enough for you to care. And about midway the game, we discover that much of the game is trying to suggest that imagination and creativity be preserved, especially for those who are younger and still have that sense of wonderment and enjoy the magical side of the world. And you are then, in fact, kind of prodded to overcome the obstacles that you're facing when a certain adult in the game discovers what you're doing and helps you continue your adventure. And I kind of thought this as maybe a perspective from the game's writers or creators to kind of give a tip of the hat to how important it is that we preserve that creativity, because I would imagine it would take a whole lot of creativity and imagination to create a game such as this that has so many different ideas and characters and worlds and all of these things that they had to imagine. But so as for the graphics of this game, I think it's one of the best looking Unity games I played, but it is still from a small company using the Unity engine, so there's only so much they can do. The sound I thought was great. I absolutely loved the music. I also love all the different weapons you can get. The only issue was that I wish you could be able to switch them quicker. You can only switch them when you're kind of in your hub area. There's a little island that you do most of your upgrading and all that stuff, and that's the only place you can switch weapons, and I wish you could do it more on the fly. The other thing that I would really fix about this game happens to be the fact that it kind of hits you like an appetizer. Be it that this game is only about 4 to 5 hours long. And I hope that this game does well, because I can definitely imagine a really, really good sequel to this game. And again, and this is where I struggle, because my issue with the game is it's 4 or 5 hours long, and it's $20 here in America. And that's pretty pricey for a short game like that. So I would suggest maybe waiting for it to come on a little bit of a sale. Hopefully, I think the $14.99 range is pretty decent. Maybe even the $10 range, to be honest, just because it's so short. But the game itself is great. I had so much fun playing it, which speaks to how well the game is actually made. I just, again, wish it was a little bit longer. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Take care, have a good one, and let me know if you plan on picking it up or what games you're playing. I'm very interested in seeing what everyone's playing. So, take care, guys. Have a good one.